What is going on, guys? Welcome back to GTA Online, and well, as y'all know, the new summer DLC has released today, bringing us about 3 vehicles we can go after. The rest of the cars are going to come out over drip feed for about 15 weeks or something like that, because there's like 18 apparent cars coming out. We only have 3 at the moment, which are going to be these 3 vehicles here. Do stay tuned for the other 2 cars in the coming days as well, by the way, guys. But in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Benefactor LM87, which if you guys are a Mercedes fan, this car is going to make you really happy because it's based off the Sauber C9, which I have to admit, this thing does look pretty dang close to the real life counterpart. I do think Rockstar is doing a great job with the design of these vehicles here, but let's go customize it. So now jumping into the customization, one of the first things I notice about this vehicle is going to be its stats. So we're going to have really good acceleration, the traction's all the way up because, well, it is a race car. Then we're going to have really high top speed, which I will also be testing that out. But let's customize this thing right now. So let's throw on the 100% armor. Moving down to the brakes, let's go race brakes there, obviously. I really don't see the point of putting the other ones on there. Moving down to the engine, maxing that all the way out. Let's move down to the exhaust here. Okay, let's see what we can do. That does actually sound pretty cool. So let's check out all the exhausts that can go on the vehicle. So there's going to be 11 of them. So that's the stock one there. Looks kind of cool. Then we're going to have the carbon exhaust. Moving down to the... that thing is huge. What in the world? Okay. Then we're going to have the oval one. That one's kind of cool looking. Going to have the carbon version of that. Then the plated one. I might end up going with the plated one. That looks really cool. We have that one, then moving down to last, which is going to be the plated oval. I gotta admit, the plated ones actually look pretty awesome. So the regular one, basically the exhaust is shaking there. I can actually go with the one that does not move, which I'll go with that. Moving down to the grills here. Wow, look at that. So just from the grill customization, I have a feeling this car is going to be awesome when you actually open it up. But here's the intercooler with the twin fans, which I'll most likely put that one on there. Then we'll have the water sprayer, which is also pretty awesome. Let's move over to the hoods now, so we can do a good amount of these as well. So the straight hood, competition, looks kind of cool. Ooh, look at that one with the vents. Pretty awesome. And then we will have the bridged hood, which does look pretty cool on there as well. Then the street one, which looks like that changes the front. Then finally the competition one here. So if you are trying to get this vehicle close to the real life counterpart, the hood you're going to want to go with is going to be the vented arches. I notice this looks very close to the real Mercedes there. So now let's move down to the liveries. So that one's probably going to be insanely close to it there as well. And then moving down to the next one is basically just adding a stripe to the other one. Not really much of a difference there. Moving down to the bank. Pretty cool looking as well. I kind of like that one a lot. Then we're going to move down to the next one. And then moving down to hard stand. Can't really see that because of the color I currently have on my car. Then here's atomic. And the next one after that. I think that one looks really nice on there, even though it doesn't actually fit the legit car. Then we'll have the gas one. And then Redwood cigarettes, which also looks really cool. And then finally, number 11 is going to be this one here, which I think all the liveries look really good on this vehicle, but for me, I'm probably going to go with the second one here to resemble the actual vehicle. And now let's move down to the mirrors. So we have the primary ones there, which obviously my car is all white at the moment. We have the painted black ones there, which look pretty nice. And then finally the carbon mirrors, which look really cool. Now before I do the mudguards, I first want to change the color of this car because, well, I do want to get a closer color to the actual vehicle. So moving down here to metallic. Now, I'm originally going to go with this silver color here because I think that looks really good, at least in the classic paint job here. Moving down. I do think that will look pretty close to the actual color. Now, I originally was going to go with one of the metal colors here, which was the brushed aluminum, which is basically almost the exact same thing, except a little bit brighter there, as you guys will see. So I'll probably go with that, and then the secondary color, I'm going to go with probably yellow on there, which will most likely match the mirrors of the real one. I've also seen them in other colors as well, but I'll probably just go with yellow on there. I do think this is still a little too dark for the actual color of the car, and I was trying to get something a little bit, like, lighter, but personally I don't know if you can actually do that. Imagine having, like, a legit, like, paint customization thing on GTA. Can you all imagine that? Like, similar like Need for Speed or something? That would be something pretty awesome to see, I would think. So a lot of the silver colors are obviously going to be pretty dark, so I don't really think they're going to really fit the car all that well. And the metal color here would probably look pretty good on it, but I just don't really like how that looks too much on the vehicle. So I'll probably just leave the one I currently have on there. Let's move over to the mud guards now. It's going to be the ones right there, which adds it to it. We're going to have the primary one, and then the yellow. Now I'm going to end up picking the yellow for this to pretty much resemble the actual car as much as possible. Then moving down to the plates here, which for this I'll probably just go SA exempt there. Moving down to the sun strips here. I would like to add one of these to the vehicle as well. So for this one, I'll probably end up going with the third option here, which I'm not even going to attempt to actually pronounce that. Then moving down to the skirts here. Looks pretty cool. Got the vent there. That one looks actually more like the real car from what I can see there. So from the pictures I have seen of this vehicle online, I believe it's going to be the last one here. This is kind of insane to me because, well, you can basically get this car to look just like the actual Mercedes. So anyone who's a fan of these cars, this car is going to be something you're definitely going to want to get. So here's these splitters here. Then we'll have the bolt on there. Then moving down to the yellow. That's going to be a black painted one. Carbon. That one's kind of nice. Then we'll have the black bolt on after that. And then finally the carbon version of that one as well. So for me, I'm probably going to go with the second option here because it really matches the car itself. Then moving over to the spoilers. Let's get a better look at this. Probably going to end up going with that one actually. Let's put that on there. That's going to be the secondary one. There's the other wing. Ooh, look at that one. That's pretty awesome too. Then we will have the street spoiler here. Then moving down to the primary race one. Now I do want to mention, by the way, guys, for some weird reason, I don't know why, but some of the wings are lagging really bad when I switch to them. Like that, for example, I don't really know what's causing that. But once I go down to the other one, it pretty much stops there. I don't really know why it's doing that. Then we'll have this one after that, which is also carbon. It's also lagging again. Ooh, that one's pretty awesome. How the thing's connected to the back there. Painted as well. Secondary. Then we'll have the black mounted one there. Then carbon. Ooh, look at that one. That looks crazy. So far this thing has a ton of customization. So if anyone's wondering about getting this vehicle, I would definitely go spend the $3 million on it. I think it's 100% worth it already. And I haven't even driven this vehicle yet either. So here's all the wings. I do also think I know which one I'm going to put on this car, even though it is lagging when I switch to certain ones. I really don't know why it's doing that. Probably the game glitching out again. And here's the final ones over here. There's 27 of these, basically a good amount of them, but, you know, painted, primary, and then black and all that with carbon. So there's the last one there. So I'm going to go all the way back to the top. Probably going to end up putting the flat one on there just like that. So here's the suspension. Let's lower it. Max out the transmission. Do the turbo. Now for the wheels, I actually thought about leaving this thing stock because I know I probably couldn't really change how this looks, which is kind of unfortunate. I would love to change the colors of these rims, but I most likely will end up leaving those on there, even though the regular car does have black rims, which you cannot change the regular rims unless I use the app, which sometimes that does not work. But here are the track rims there. But if you guys do this, though, you'll end up getting rid of the racing tires on the car, so I'll probably just leave this regular. But besides that, though, you can also do the window tint as well, which for me, I just went with the light smoke on there. You can also go with the dark and then the limo, which personally is a little too dark for my liking, because I do like seeing the interior of the vehicle. But besides all that, let's go do an outside look at this car and really take a closer look at the detail of it. Then let's take it on a test drive as well to really see how it drives, and we definitely have to take it on a top speed run to see what this car can get to, even though this car is going to most likely shine on a track and not the top speed. Now let's take an outside look of the new LM87 here. I'm honestly mind blown by the detail of this vehicle. I mean, it just looks so dang good. Let's open it up real fast here. All the doors, let's do all. Oh wow, look at that. So here's the detail of it. Just look at the detail Rockstar put in this car. Like, that's awesome. I'm honestly kind of mind blown. Like, it's actually got really nice detail to it. Look at that engine. Looks good. Then we have the interior view of the car, which I will also be showing in first person here in a second. Here's the front with the intercooler there. Rockstar did a really good job with this vehicle. I feel like any Mercedes fan is going to want this car. Now, let's go jump into it now. Let's first close it up here. There, let's take a look at the interior. Let's get right into it. Car even sounds really good as well. So here's the interior view of the LM87, which I have to admit, this looks really cool. It really gives you that feeling of a race car because, well, it obviously is. But I really do think they do a great job with some of the interior designs of the vehicles. I know some of them are honestly kind of plain and, well, overused a lot. But I would say compared to a lot of the other interiors in the game, I do think the LM87 looks really good. But I do think we need to go drive this car now, so let's do that. I think I'm going to go left here. Oh, pedestrians, I'm gonna try to get by you. Please don't hurt me. I do want to try these cars out on like time trials and stuff to see if they can actually do them, because some cars are honestly way too dang slow to do them. But the handling on this vehicle is going to be insane. Just look at that. I'm going over bumps and all that, which is making the car lose traction though. But like turning it really hard left and right there, you can just see how it grips. Woo, this thing's fun to drive. I love the engine sound of this vehicle as well. Sounds really good. So first person here, I don't know how true that is. I know the odometer could be wrong at times, but it's saying I'm doing 140 through the city. So the bumps are affecting this car a lot, which I'm sure many players would like that. 150 almost there, it looked like. This thing is hauling through the city, wow. So I'll definitely try this thing out on future time trials to really see if it can do them without me driving like that. Sorry, sir, let me get by you there. Who stops anymore at stop signs? Let's go this way. I did unfortunately bring up the front of the vehicle. Go left here, by the golf course. Oh, okay. It's funny because normally when I get mad at the pedestrians, I'm also the one breaking the law, so I really cannot get angry at them, I guess, all the time. Green light there. Help me. Okay. So luckily, I would say this car is going to be worth every bit of it, especially if you guys are going to be a Mercedes fan. I personally love how this thing drives. It sounds really good, and it literally looks almost just like the actual race car. I would say Rockstar hit it out of the park with this car. I mean, everything about it is just awesome. Now, let's go jump on the highway with it and see if we can do a top speed run without bumps. I will most likely head over to where the tunnel is, though, because that seems like it is the best place to do that. Let's jump on the highway right now, though. The handling of this car is honestly just going to be insane. Now, it is obviously a race car, so the traction should be all the way up on it. You can definitely feel it when racing it. I'll be interested to see how this car might handle against other vehicles, and I will also be interested to see how I can drive, because apparently I cannot right now. So the car does get up to speed pretty nicely. It's going to be interesting on one of the longer time trials, though, like on the highway, to see if this car can actually hold its speed. Which, if it can do 125 to 130, obviously that's going to be up there with a lot of the other good vehicles as well. I know some cars just cannot hold speed. 140, what in the world is happening? Now, the odometer could be wrong, but this thing is definitely moving. Now, I do lower the suspension, which might help it a little bit. But I really don't know how any of that works because the physics on GTA really don't make any sense. Fly around here. So I'm going to head over to where the tunnel is now and do a legit top speed run on the flatter area of the highway. So now I'm over by the tunnel for the legit top speed run of the car here. Now, I'm not going to lie, by the way, guys. I'm honestly really impressed with this vehicle from driving it all the way over here. I was averaging like 130 to 140 the entire time. And if I were to hit like a little bump on the highway, I would literally shoot above 140 with no issues at all. So I would say this might be one of the best new cars in the game with speed. Let's go find out what we can get it to over here. Man, I love the sound of this engine in this car. Has crazy good handling, it doesn't slide out at all, and it does 130 plus miles an hour. This car is going to be worth every penny of $3 million. Now, let's see what we can get to here. It's 130 there, I believe. Now, I could be wrong on the odometer because I know that thing can be wrong as well. But this car is definitely moving, so I would say it's probably pretty dang close to what it's actually doing. So I'm doing almost 140 on the road here. The car's kind of bouncing probably because I lowered it a little bit. But I do think that's actually making it faster, or it could just be like a bumpy ride because it's, well, a race car for that matter. But almost 140 there on the odometer is going to be absolutely insane. Let me know what you guys think about the Benefactor LM87 in the comments below. And I really do think Rockstar did one heck of a job on this car. I mean, I love the look of it, and it looks just like the Mercedes, which is insane. So if you guys are a fan of the Mercedes at all, I definitely recommend buying this vehicle. I do think it's worth every bit of $3 million.